For a second time this year, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has failed to form a government. The ball is now in his rival Benny Gantz's court, but the former Israeli Defense Forces Chief of Staff's chances are no more certain. So does this mean that Israel could head to elections for the third time this year? This report tells you more.
שאני מחזיר לידיו את המנדט להרכבת הממשלה. מאז שקיבלתי את המנדט, פעלתי ללא הרף, גם בגלוי, גם בסתר, כדי להקים ממשלת אחדות לאומית רחבה. זה מה שהעם רוצה. זה גם מה שישראל צריכה, אל מול האתגרים הביטחוניים שהולכים וגדלים מדי יום, מדי שעה. במהלך השבועות האחרונים עשיתי כל מאמץ כדי להביא את בני גנץ לשולחן המשא ומתן. כל מאמץ כדי להקים ממשלה לאומית רחבה.
Benjamin Netanyahu announcing that his efforts to form Israel's next government have fallen short. Two brutal elections have gone by, and there is still no clarity on who will be the next prime minister. Netanyahu's attempt to bring opposition leader Benny Gantz's party into coalition have failed. The Israeli president had suggested a so-called unity coalition of the two main parties. That arrangement would have seen Gantz and Netanyahu in a rotating premiership role. But Benny Gantz outrightly rejected this deal. President Rivlin has now asked opposition leader Benny Gantz to try his luck and succeed where Netanyahu failed. The Blue and White Party chief will now attempt to form a government, and he has 28 days to do so. Benny Gantz is optimistic of coming to power. The official Blue and White Party Twitter account put out this tweet. The time for spin is over, and now it's time for action. Blue and White is determined to form the Liberal Unity government led by Benny Gantz that the people of Israel voted for a month ago. But Gantz's chance of forming a government appear no better than Netanyahu's. The most feasible coalition option would include Gantz's centrist Blue and White, the centre-left Labour Party, and the leftist Democratic camp, giving it 44 seats in the 120 members Knesset. The 13 members of the Arab Joint List could join them if its desperate members could reach an agreement on supporting such a government. But if Benny Gantz can't stack up the numbers, is the prospect of a third election looming large? Israel is keen on avoiding another election in a country which had already voted twice this year. Israeli law stipulates that if neither of the two candidates tasked by the president succeed in forming a government, the president can transfer the mandate to the Knesset. The parliament then could put forward a third candidate in a final bid to avoid another poll. Bureau Report, Wion, World is One.
Now we have Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Mordechai Kedar, Israeli scholar, joining us live from Jerusalem. Thank you so much for being with us here on Wion Fine Print. Let me begin by asking you a very simple question. Are we looking at another election in Israel?
Well, everybody tries to avoid it because the two big parties, Likud and Blue and White, might lose some of their support, and their chances, each's chances to shape a government after the third elections will be even less than what it is today. So they want to avoid, everybody wants to avoid it. Also has a very financial big cost. So everybody is against it, but nobody is willing to give up on his axioms.
All right, let me put it this way. Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Mordechai Kedar. Can Benny Gantz do what Benjamin Netanyahu couldn't?
Only if the Likud gives up on the bloc with the national and the religious parties and joins the coalition with Gantz alone. Means betraying his allies. And as it looks now, it is not going to happen because Netanyahu is committed to the parties which go with him, which together, unfortunately, they have only 55 seats out of 120. This is why they cannot shape a government. But the question is if he will be willing to depart from them and join to make a coalition of 65, which is possible between Blue and White and Likud only. The only question is if Netanyahu will give up on the alliance which he has with some small parties.
Now, I also wanted to ask you what exactly happens from here on. You know, President Rivlin has 3 days now to tell Benny Gantz to start attempting to form a government. What is the time frame that we're looking like before it emerges with clarity whether Israel will need to vote for a third time or not?
Well, Gantz has 28 days, as Netanyahu had so far, and after, if he doesn't succeed to shape a government within the 28 days, which will start on Thursday, 2 days from today, another chance can be given to another Knesset member to shape a government, neither Netanyahu nor Gantz, and this one will have, I think, 2 weeks only. Means we have to wait 6 long weeks to the maximum to know if we have a government or should we expect third elections.
Right. I'm afraid we'll only that Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Mordechai Kedar, Israeli scholar, joining us live from Jerusalem. Thank you so much for being with us here on Wion Fine Print.